Hello everyone. So today we're going to be taking a look at the all-new 2016 Opel Mokka X. And special thanks to Herron Auto, Opel and Kia for allowing me to review the Mokka X for you guys today. For all contact information in regards to this dealership, please see the description box below. So in today's review, we'll be looking at the interior of the car. I explain how all the features work. We'll also start up, look at the engine, go over the performance data, take a look around the exterior, and we'll take the car on a detailed test drive. So, slightly newly designed key fob. As you see, it's now got a colored pattern, but the second key fob is just blank, just standard black. So we'll go ahead and power on the car first, and we'll take a look around the exterior. So, just apply the clutch and turn the key, fire it up. And just the dials do their thing. So we'll put on the headlights, front and rear fog lamps, as well as the hazards. And all four windows are fully automatic. So this particular Mokka is the mid-range SC, and it's finished here in Sovereign Silver. And as you can see with the changes, the entire front of the car has been completely revised. So new headlights, grille and bumper. And as you can see, it has LED indicators, and when they're not flashing, those patterns are your LED running daylights. So the front of the car is really where most of the changes are, on the exterior at least. Then coming over to the side, you get the 17-inch 5-spoke alloy wheels as standard on the SC model. And it has the usual ventilated steel disc brakes in the front with saw discs in the rear, as well as a multi-link rear suspension. And at the rear, they slightly revised taillights, but as you can see, there really isn't any big changes to the rear of this car from the previous Mokka. As I said, they slightly updated the taillights and they just added an extra letter onto the name. Now X, I believe, is the name of Opel's upcoming selection of crossovers in the future, and the Mokka is the first car to receive the name. And another thing I should tell you about the taillights, if you get the optional LED matrix headlights, they will also upgrade the taillights as well to LEDs. So if we just take a look at the boot, I'll caption in the dimensions on the bottom right of the screen. But the boot space is basically the same as it was in the previous Mokka, about the same size, pretty good. And as you can see, I got a couple of things in there. It's quite spacious, more than enough room back there. If I just come along to the back seat area of the car, you can fold down the rear seats. So first thing you do is pull this here, and you can pull up the seat base, and it folds away like that, and then you just pull down the seat itself. And I will do the same with the other side. And as you can see, with the rear seats folded down, you do get a good bit of extra space. And I also like the fact that the seat bases do flip up like that, so it just means the seats fold down in a much neater fashion. And the Mokka X also has aluminium roof rails, as you can see, with black plastic moulding. So let's see how much room there is in the back. Well, the good news is, interior space really hasn't changed that much from the previous Mokka, so there's still a lot of legroom back here, as you can see, and the headroom is excellent as well. Now the mid-range SC doesn't have a centre armrest, the top of the range Elite one does. Not really sure why they're making a centre armrest in the back seat an optional extra. Usually that sort of thing is standard. And if we come into the centre seat, there is little bulges in the transmission tunnel, but you know, there's still a decent amount of leg room. You know, you'll have to share the footwells with the left and right passengers. You can see you can get a little cramped, and you can just put your feet up there on the rails. So one thing they did change back here, I'm not really sure if this is a good or a bad idea, but on the previous Mokka, down there in the center console, you had a 3-prong power outlet, so you could plug in like a laptop charger or a phone charger or basically anything you want. So it was very handy to have, and I've never actually seen that in the car before. But for some reason with the Mokka X, they've removed that and just put in a 12-volt outlet. So I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. I have no idea. I suppose you can still plug a lot of things into that, but I think having the 3-prong socket in there was pretty handy as well. It meant if you had passengers in the back and they're on a laptop, they could just plug it in and keep it charging. So let's hop into the front. So you got your standard 4 electric window controls, as well as your central locking and your power folding exterior mirrors with very nice black piano gloss veneer finish, which looks really good. You also got a very large array of storage areas. So you got a little one here, another one here, and then you got your door bins. And you also have one underneath the headlamp controls. So we'll turn off the fog lights and put the headlights back into automatic. You'll see that they've actually revised the headlight controls, and turn off the hazards. Now, for the most part, the interior is more or less the same as the previous Mokka. They've just updated a few things. So as I said, the headlight controls have been updated, the gauges have been changed, and the steering wheel is more or less the same as well. It's a nice 3-spoke leather wrap multifunction steering wheel, very nice response from the electric steering, and also it's got the nice thick 10 and 2 notches, which feel very nice in your hand. Very nice to have them in your car. And you also got the white stitching. And as before, you got your standard truck computer controls, which can be operated by pressing the menu button, and then you can use this switch here to go through your different selections. And you also got your cruise control on the left of the steering wheel, as well as the volume control and the voice command controls off to the right. And this car has the auto dimming interior mirror. And I should mention that every Opel that's not a base model, basically everything above a base model Opel these days, comes with the Onstar Assist. Now that's a feature that's actually used in a lot of General Motors cars. I believe Chevrolet use it in most of their cars as well. So if you have an accident or you get lost or whatever, you can use that, and you'll be put through to somebody from Opel, and they'll guide you back on your way. And I believe if you have an accident as well, they'll send the emergency services. So I actually briefly spoke about that when I reviewed the latest Insignia. So if we come into the center console, you got this very nice touchscreen. Now the Elite model comes with the bigger IntelliLink RF900, I believe is what it's called, and it's also an optional extra on this. But if we just turn up the volume,
in effect, the economy has performed better than was envisaged in May.
Sound quality is quite good from the radio itself, and for some reason I don't know why the front sensors are picking up something. As you can see, there's nothing in front of the car, but they keep going off every once in a while. Might be a ghost or something, I don't know. But anyway, as you can see, the touchscreen is a very nice layout. You got your preset stations down here, and you can just select between them. And you also got your home menu, and you can Bluetooth your phone to the car, and you can also project what you see on your phone onto the screen as well by using that icon. You can also go through your gallery, and here is where you can select your mobile phone. So it's a very nice system. It's very easy to use as well. I've used this kind of thing before in Opels, and it's a very nice display. You got your time and date as well as the outside temperature down there as well. And if we just go back into audio, that's your main radio stations. And also you got a shortcut button down here for the Bluetooth as well. So very nice looking display. Graphics in it are quite good as well. And also the trim around here is again finished in piano black. And then over here on the passenger side, you got this kind of metallic grey flake, which looks good, and then it blends off into piano black again. So it's a very interesting interior design they've done with this car. But as you can see, it looks very nice, and you've just got this silver trim as well, accenting the dashboard. And you also got it going around the gauges as well. So the interior of this car is very well done, beautifully crafted, I think. And then the center console, you got your climate controls as well as your start-stop system, your parking sensors, traction control, and your hazards. And you just got your fan controls there, and everything displays up on the screen too, illuminated by orange LEDs. And then if we come down here, you can see you got a very big deep storage area. As you can see, I can fit my whole hand in there, so there's a lot of space in there. There's also an auxiliary USB and a 12-volt outlet in there as well. Now they're not clearly visible, so thankfully Opel took the time out to actually label them. And if I actually just move the camera down, I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see them on camera, but you can see them just right there. So it's good that they put that in there. You got a whole pile of space. You can fit your phone, extra set of keys, whatever you want in there, no problem at all. And also it has the 6-speed manual gearbox. Just push the chrome lever in front, left and up for reverse, and your rear parking sensors will be active as well. And also they stuck with the handbrake lever, no electronic parking brake in the Mokkas. You also got your 2 cup holders, as well as the center storage, and you also got this armrest for the driver as well. And it's also a very spacious and very comfortable car. The seats are very comfy as well, good amount of side bolstering from them. So overall, to sum up the interior of this car, it's nicely designed, especially this whole center console design. It looks really good. They revised the headlight controls, brand new IntelliLink system, and everything is simple and it's functional. So let's go ahead and look at the engine, and then we'll take the car on the test drive. And the bonnet release is located on the driver's side footwell. The engine is a 1.6 litre turbo diesel. It produces 134 brake horsepower with a top speed of 118 miles per hour. It also puts out 236 foot-pounds of torque, and it's estimated this car can do about 65 miles to the gallon. Okay, so we're just setting off in the new Opel Mokka X. Now, I've driven this car before off camera because I tried to review it a few times last week and the weather just wasn't having it. The weather was not going to allow me to review this car until last week, but thankfully this is a better day. And I can first off tell you that it feels so nice to drive. I mean, the interior of this car is lovely. The overall visibility in this thing is excellent. I can see very well out through the back window. I have good sized wing mirrors. You got a nice commanding view over the road because you do sit up, relatively high, and you can just see everything that's going on. The dashboard kind of stretches out a good bit, and there's a nice feeling from the steering wheel as well. Thankfully, as I said earlier, you got these 10 and 2 notches, which make it really comfortable and nice to hold in your hands. But right now we're just kind of cruising out in the road here. We're going to head out to the bypass and see what the power is like. Okay, so we're just joining the bypass now in second gear. So how would I describe the power? Good. Quite good actually. The power from this 1.6 litre diesel engine, it comes very well. When you put your foot down, about even quarter throttle, you can feel it pulling very well. You can certainly feel the turbocharger kicking in at about 2,000 RPM or thereabouts. So it's a very responsive and peppy diesel engine. Now this here being the mid-range SC with the 1.6 litre turbo diesel, this will be the best selling of the range. It's usually the mid-range models that do quite well when it comes to Opels actually, because this is very well equipped with the touchscreen, the multi-function steering wheel, which is nicely leather wrapped. You got cruise control and Bluetooth and front and rear parking sensors and dual climate control and what have you. So it's a very well put together package. So versus the previous Mokka, now that had a 1.7 diesel engine, and these days a lot of manufacturers are trying to size down, to make their engines smaller and yet every bit as powerful as they were before. Well, Opel have done that with the Mokka. So the previous one was 1.7, this one 1.6. It's a downsize, even if it is only by 0.1 litres. Other things I should tell you, well, I'll go through the Mokka X range. So there's 3 cars. Starts off with the entry-level S, the SC and the Elite. Now the base model S is only available with a 1.6 litre petrol engine. This mid-range SC is available with all the engines, so you can have a 1.4 turbo petrol with 4-wheel drive or front-wheel drive. You can also have it with a manual or an automatic gearbox. And then there's this 1.6 litre diesel engine. Again, you can have it with front or 4-wheel drive or an automatic gearbox. And then there's the 1.6 petrol. Now personally, I don't really think the 1.6 petrol is really worth going for. It doesn't really have that much power. I think it's like 115 PS, so that's what, about 110 horsepower maybe. The 1.4 turbo petrol, if you're looking for a petrol powered car, is definitely the one to go for because it's got pretty good power. It's got about 140 PS. But then again, this 1.6 diesel is more economical and it's got about 136 PS. So, the power is pretty good. You're going to get excellent fuel economy. And as I said, here in Ireland, this will be the best selling of the range for sure. Right, so let's try this power once more, this time pulling from third gear. 2,000 RPM, and there's the turbo. Yep. Now it's got very good acceleration, and the gear changes in this car are very nice as well. They're smooth and crisp and nice and notchy as well. But overall, I have to say, at the moment, I'm really enjoying the Mokka. Out here in the open road, it's It's actually quieter, I think, and a little more refined than the previous Mokka. That's what I think anyway. And it just feels like a very comfortable, relaxing place to be. Old Mokka just drove by there. You need to upgrade, man. You need to upgrade to the Mokka X. But yeah, no, it's a lovely car to drive at the moment. It's comfortable, good power, relaxing, easy, cushy car to drive. So those are my first initial impressions of the new Mokka X. Okay, so out here in these back roads, and we're coming up to our first tight corner. So it's a tight left-hander. Stick the car in. Yeah, not too bad. Didn't really feel too much body roll in that particular corner. But we're going over quite a few bumpy bits right now, and I was going over a few earlier before I recorded this scene. And I have to say, the suspension setup in this car is actually bang on point, so it is. It's really good. The car is absorbing the bumps very well. But we're coming up to another tight right-hander here, so let's see what the steering feel is like. So we'll just stick it in here. It's quite good, you know, it's responsive, and you can certainly feel where the car is going when you move the steering wheel as well. There's pretty good response from it. But right now we're just driving on a straight bit here. This used to be a lot bumpier, but the council have actually tarmacked it over and made it a lot smoother. But the overall visibility, especially on these back roads, is excellent. You got your front quarter windows there, and as I said, all-round visibility in this car in general is pretty good. You got quite sizable door mirrors as well, and it's easy to park in town because I can see out the back very well. I got my parking sensors, so really it's a nice and easy car to drive on a day-to-day basis. And out here on these B roads, it's pretty good as well. We're just coming up to another series of corners, so let's see what it's like. Over a crest there and into this left-hander. Yeah, no, that's quite good. I certainly like driving it out here anyway. It's confidence inspiring. I think that's the term I'm looking for. So it's good in the bumps and it handles really, really well. So on my way back into town now, and my summary of the Mokka X is as follows. I think it's a very, very good car to drive. It has an excellent diesel engine. It's quiet, it's refined, it has good power delivery. The gearbox is lovely. And then there's all the changes between the Mokka X and the outgoing Mokka. So all the changes are actually done to the front of the car. So it's got a new diesel engine, it's got a new face, and it's got a new dashboard, or a slightly updated dashboard anyway. And then at the rear they didn't really change anything at all, to be honest. But that's okay, because the previous Mokka was a very good looking car. So, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it, I guess. But overall, it's an excellent little car. Now, the starting prices for a Mokka, the base Model S costs about €21,500, and then from there on, there's usually about a €2,000 gap in between models. So I think this one's probably somewhere in the €23,000 region. But I'll find out them prices for sure, and I'll list them in the description box below. I do know though that you can get a Mokka X Elite, which is the top of the range model with full leather and heated seats and so on, for I think about €26,000. So if you are looking for a new Mokka X and you're happy enough maybe to spend about 25, 26,000, then yes, I think you could upgrade to the Elite. You should, absolutely. But then again, as I said, usually the diesel SC models with the manual transmission are the best selling in Ireland. They're just well priced. You get excellent equipment on this mid-range model, and as I said, the diesel engine in itself is brilliant. So overall, I do like the Mokka X. I think it's a great car. And of course, you know, the OnStar system that you get in nearly all GM vehicles these days is certainly a lifesaver anyway. It's very handy to have that in your car. And then again, this car also comes, like all new Opels, with a 5-year warranty, but I shouldn't imagine you'll ever have to make use of it, because modern day Opels are just very well built. I mean, I've never heard of any recalls or anything like that at all, you know, quality wise. They're great cars and they hold up very well. So we're just going to finish up the review now. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you again next time. Take care.